You are listening to Chapter 5, Lesson 4 of Form 3 Economics. Cameroon General Education. Narrated by Wacheseh Academy. The supply of labor. Definition: it refers to the number of hours a worker is willing to offer at a particular wage rate and at a particular time. Factors influencing the supply of labor. The supply of labor is usually influenced by a number of factors, which include the following. The size of the total population. A country with a large population size will have a large supply of labor, while a country with a small population will have a small supply of labor. Example: the supply of labor in Nigeria is very high because of the large population size of about 200 million inhabitants, while the supply of labor in Cameroon is low because of the small population size of about 20 million inhabitants. Age composition of the population. The age composition has a great influence on the supply of labor. In a country that has a greater portion of the population made up of the working age group, the supply of labor will be higher. But if the country has a greater proportion of the population of the old age group, the supply of labor will fall. Wage rate. The supply of labor is very sensitive to changes in the wage rate. In a country where higher wages are offered to the workers, the supply of labor will increase. That is why many try to obtain jobs in the U.S. where high wages are offered to workers. In a country, supply of labor will be very low. Size of the working population. If the number of people who are able to work and offer themselves for employment is high, the supply of labor will be high. On the other hand, if the number of people who are able to work and offer themselves for employment is low, the supply of labor will be low. The age of entry into active service. If the age at which people are officially supposed to enter into active service is high, the supply of labor will be low. For example, if in a country the age of entry into active service is 40 years, then the supply of labor in that country will be low, and vice versa. Age of retirement. If the age of retirement is very early, the supply of labor will be reduced. On the other hand, if the age of retirement is very late, the supply of labor will be increased. For example, if the retirement age is 70 years in a country, many people will be obliged to work at the age of 70 years, and thus will lead to an increase in the supply of labor. The attitude of women towards work. When women are prepared to take up paid jobs, the supply of labor will increase. On the other hand, when women refuse to take up paid jobs, the supply of labor will be low. Migration. If many people have the tendency of going out of the country, the supply of labor will reduce. On the other hand, if many people have the tendency of coming into the country, the supply of labor will increase.